What is gap coverage anyway? Here's a scenario that can help explain it. Meet Bob the buyer. At 2 p.m.,
Hello.
Bob signs his closing documents, completing his portion of the transaction. Not long after that, Sam the seller signs his
Hi.
portion of the closing documents. Then, at 3 p.m., Larry the lender approves the documents and wires the funds. Tim the title man now considers this transaction closed, but there's a catch. Tim can't get to the courthouse to record it until the next morning, which leads us to the big question. Can Rich the realtor hand Bob the buyer the keys, or does it have to be recorded first? Is it really even closed? That's where gap coverage comes into play. It's protection for the time between closing, when all the documents are signed and monies are received, and recording the transaction. In areas where roundtable closings were the norm, the gap always existed because keys were handed over and funds were dispersed prior to anything being recorded publicly. In areas where escrow closings were the norm, like Northeast Ohio, traditionally those things were held up until recording had occurred. Government shutdowns during the COVID pandemic upended this arrangement when courthouses closed to the public and the gap grew really wide. At that time, title insurers clarified that the gap was insured as a covered risk under their title policies. As a result, both Bob and his lender can rest easy, knowing that even if something is recorded in the gap before the deed or mortgage, they have the protection of a title insurance policy that preserves their rights. And agents can tell their customers with confidence that their transaction is complete without having to wait for a publicly recorded document to prove it. Title Professionals Group is here to help with all your title-related questions, especially the complicated ones like gap coverage. We're here for you.